So your main drag is becoming a bit of a drag? In this episode, I'm going to show you how to use a bypass to keep traffic flowing in your city. Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. We are playing in the town of Prospect Valley and we are growing this little town and we are also starting to see a little bit of traffic. In the last episode, we talked a little bit about our education situation and the fact that we probably need to get, let me move this a little bit, that we need to get ourselves a bit of a university. And there's been a couple of comments around the whole university thing. Next to the river over here, a university co-located with the hydroelectric facility over here is actually quite good because it could be some form of technical university. And I thought that's actually an amazing idea. And so I think this spot right over here, maybe even all the way up to there, could be an amazing spot for a university. Though we will need to have a look at our access situation. But before we move on to that, I wanted to actually see about, well, as you probably saw in the intro, we're constantly getting a fair bit of traffic down the main drag over here. And I think it's time for us to implement our bypass. So in one of the previous episodes, we started getting ready for the bypass over here. And I think what we'll do is let's look at the implementation of this bypass over here. So what do we do with the bypass? A bypass is basically just taking the traffic from our main street over here and giving it a new road that is more appropriate for the bypass maneuver itself. So as you can see, we've started building ourselves a bigger road with less accesses, less direct connections onto it, as opposed to this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and move all of this traffic over here to make this a much safer and nicer environment. Now, there's all kinds of pros and cons arguments for bypasses and against bypasses in the sense that, it might starve the town of foot traffic and all these kind of things. But ultimately, for us, in terms of managing traffic, the bypass is going to be good. Bypasses also come in so many different shapes and sizes. If we look at London, for instance, you can see the A501 on screen is like a kind of bypass of the old city. Then, if we zoom it out, you can see that the A406 there becomes a further bypass that goes a fair bit around the city, a little bit further away. And then if we zoom it out even more, you can see the M25 motorway wrapping all around London, and all of these are kind of bypasses that is built to allow traffic to not have to go through the city but around the city. And so today what we're going to do here is we're going to basically start off with our own first little bypass between the area where the traffic wants to come from or go to and the other one, of course. And we can in the future do more bypasses this way, that way, and they can be of a different variety. They can just be another extra layer of more highly trafficked roads, or they can ultimately become a motorway or a freeway of some sorts that truly bypasses the city as a whole and doesn't have development around it at all. But, so for the time being, let's jump in and see how we're going to go about doing that. Yeah, so that angle of approach will be an interesting one to deal with. There's numerous ways we could do this. Of course, we could do roundabouts and all kinds of things. Roundabout might actually not be the worst idea in the world. Actually, that might work quite nicely over here. If we do a roundabout access into this, and then we can see about doing something a little bit differently at some point. That's just the whole road thing there. Let's grab the roundabout tool and see about getting ourselves a two-lane road as a roundabout. Yeah, let's do that. And we want it pretty sizable, really. Oh, it doesn't want to. It needs an intersection first. Okay, so let's get our intersection sorted out. I'm gonna try and do maybe something like that. There we go. And then we'll grab our roundabout tool. We'll have to get into it again. Something like that. There we go. Is that large enough? Shall we? You know what I'm going to try and do here? Let's start it off like this. Okay, that's not bad. Not the button I wanted. Let's start it off like that. That's actually not too bad. These are a little close, of course. But what I was kind of wondering is whether we make more of an oval kind of roundabout over here. And maybe on this side, is it slightly more appropriate? Let's do that. Let's do that for now. And we might have to just redo this altogether. If I do something like this, and then I go about tweaking it. Oh, this is in the way now. Okay, there we go. Then we go about, so how far is that? Like so? Do that again. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Is that about right? Okay, let's do that. And what we'll do again is we'll try and tie it in somewhere over here. Let me switch off on anarchy and we'll tie that one in there. There we go. So now with anarchy in place, what we'll do is we'll get rid of this guy. We'll grab, move it, and we'll just see about tweaking these a little bit. Now, this, ultimately, the angle of approach here might be a slightly problematic situation for us. So we'll have to see about that. What I think we should do, actually, what I'm going to do altogether now is sort this thing out. So let me get my highway connection again. So this rural highway piece that we're doing is that one. Let's get that a straight shot in there. That's fine. Now, what I'll do here is I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to remove that. Oh, this is a different style of road. Hang on, let me fix the road as well. Let me quickly fix that road. So what is the road that we're actually supposed to be using here? Let's do that. The 2-lane road there. We'll see about that. Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. That's much better. That's much better. Now I'm going to go with move it, and we'll try and fix what we've done over here. Now, how do we go about doing that? Actually, you know what? I'm going to redo this side. That side looks awesome. Now, let's just do the same thing on this side. Now, if I do this, let's do that. Because I wanted the oval, it ended up being a little bit of a mess. And now that section needed to be... hang on. Redo that one more time. Okay, so I wanted to do up to about there. And then what we need to do is get... Does not want to give us that 90-degree angle, though. Okay, well, let's do this. Try and get our... I've got a better plan. We'll do it this way. There we go. Now we'll straight shot it up to here. There we go. That's the one. Go in there, and we'll do it over there and over there. There we go. That's the one. Now... in order to make sure this one actually does the proper bypass maneuver, I'm going to disconnect it over here. Needs to do something like that. But let's sort that out first. It's a little awkward. You know what? Let's start it the other way around. Let's just make it a straight line first. So let's just get the straight line tool. We'll straight line it that way, and we'll probably straight line it that way. I think that's going to be way easier. Grab, move it, get ourselves a little bit of an angle of approach in here. And actually, we'll bring this out a little bit. So that angle is not too problematic. We want it to be, yeah, that's about right. I think that is perfect. Now, what we'll need to do is we'll just need to tie this one off over here. We'll fix this now. And then that should be, is that going to be fine? I'm not too sure. Anyway, with that in mind, now we'll go and grab some of these node spacer tools that we've got. And let's up our spacing there a little bit. Yeah, that's actually looking pretty good. Now, can we straighten this up a little? Oh, look at that. That's awesome. Now we can actually bring this down. Let's go down to 25, and then we'll straight line it again. Oh, beautiful. That's about right. That's about right. So there we go. Now we've got a pretty cool little maneuver around here. Okay, so let's just leave it at that for the time being. So let's get out of here. What I would like to do, hang on, get out of there. What I would like to do is just make sure that we use Traffic Manager President and assign the whole roundabout thing here. So I wanted to do that. What was the roundabout? Shift Control, and click it. And there we go. We've got a roundabout all sorted out through here. I like it. I like it. We'll need to tie in a little bit more on this side. And I think what I'll do here is, because this is our bypass, what I'll do is this one goes that way. This one goes both that way, or that way. So basically, yeah, that's the kind of maneuver. This might become a problem fairly early on, but let's make sure they can do both directions over there. That one can just be, actually, I would like this one to be able to go straight through or turn, because bypass, hello, and this one just goes straight through. There we go. So now that should work a little bit better. These guys, again, actually, we only have the one, so that's okay. We'll see about that. We may have to start upgrading these at some point as also. Okay, so that is basically the starting point of our bypass. We need to do a few more other things as well. So let's quickly have a look here and say, I would very much like our bypass. So I would like our roundabout to be 60. I think it might, let's make it 50 instead. And then I would like the rest of our bypass to be 80, basically. So we go up here and we'll say, there we go, 80 and 80. So we'll do that one as 80. From here, it's still 100 for a while. So we'll have to see how that works. We might have to do a slightly different thing. So there we go. That's the one side of the bypass. Now on this side, of course, what we need to do is make sure that we have appropriate maneuvers in place. So let's quickly see, where do we have nodes over here? At the very least, I would like a single lane to form a constant slip lane. Yeah, actually, that might not be too bad. Let's let's run it from this node over here to that node over there. And we'll see about doing a few things. I'm not a big fan of that menu, what we've got there. Now, what I want to do is I want to make a slight change to this road. Do we have a 3-in-1? We do have or a 2-in-1? Do we have a 2-in-1? Let's go over here and see if we've got a 2-in-1. Maybe we've got a 2-in-1. Yes, we've definitely got a 2-in-1 over here. So if we go and we'll do our upgrade here, the other way around, something like that. Is there a different approach? Do we have a 2-in-1 somewhere that's a little bit bigger? Do we have a 4-unit 2-in-1? No, nothing asymmetric. We've got 3-in-1 basically. Maybe I do 3-in-1. How does that look if we do 3-in-1? Maybe 3-in-1 is exactly the right thing for us to do. Yes, 3-in-1 is going to be the right thing for us to do. And we'll sort out our signaling arrangements and the like. So 3-in-1 is what we're going to stick with. I'm going to, you know what I want to do? Let's get rid of this thing here. So using our new multi tool, I would like to get rid of that node. Yes, beautiful. We'll go back to move it. And then what we'll do is we'll pull this one slightly into that direction. And I'm thinking a 3-in-1 over here, to be honest. This one here. I mean a 2-in-1. Exactly right. There we go. That's the maneuver we're after. That's the maneuver we're after. Yes, that's awesome. Let's close some of these things and get rid of this set of signals here. Now, what I'm after here, and let's before we do that, let's quickly fix it off with this guy. If we go up to about, let's say 22 or something like that, and we'll make it, yes, that's the one. Okay, we'll do the same thing over here. 25 is what I'm after, and we'll do that. Beautiful, look at that. Look at that. We'll pop in over here, and we'll go this one up a little bit. Yeah, if we go up to 25 over here, this whole thing is going to become a little bit challenging to handle. But anyway, that's kind of the intersection design that I'm after. This may be getting a little bit big. Let's see if we can't trim this back a tad. If we do it at 30 and we then do this, now it's still going to pull us up to about there. So I'm glad we had the extra room. What I want to do is make sure we clear off all of these intersection things. We'll see about how we handle the rest of that. But anyway, that's good. Now from here, what I'd like to do is just make sure that we have the appropriate maneuvers all sorted out. Those do that. This one, I would like you to be able to do that. Actually, no. Let's not do that one. That one goes in there. And then this one goes in there and in there. This one sticks to that lane. And this one has an easy ride around the corner over here. Now, so there we go. That's the situation we're after. If I just use the basic marking tool over here, that one needs to be doing this, I think. Yeah, that's kind of the maneuver that I'm after. Excellent. That's good. I didn't actually do this through here. There's a few other things that we'll need to do with Traffic Manager President. There we go. So now I think we should have our bypass all sorted out. So now the traffic this way is going to be a free-flowing movement without signals at this location. These guys will have to go through the signals, and we'll have to see how we best line mark the situation. But that should help quite a lot to get traffic to bypass through here. I am actually loving our little bypass design thus far. Now, if we go to our intersection, what is this? The intersection junction restriction pieces. I would like this one to be able to fill that up, and that one as well. No crossing here or there. There can be, no crossing on that side either. From this side, I would like you to fill up also. So all of these will need to fill those. And then again over here, make sure that they can block this intersection, because it's not really an intersection from this perspective. It's more an additional part of it's more the additional part of things. Okay, and the other thing that I wanted to do is be very sure that we're not actually allowing the right turn over here. So now it's a through and left, but there we go, and the rest goes that way. Now let's have a quick look at this. This is 50, interestingly. What I would like to do is make sure that around this corner we have it as 60, and then through this stretch I would like it as 80. It could probably be 60 at the junction itself. I think that's going to be okay. Then it's 50 down there. Maybe we go up to 80 in this section. There we go. That's going to be awesome. There we go. That's fine. Then it's 60 up there. We might change that speed limit at a later stage. Now, this side is not done, and I'll probably, in a bit of a time lapse, try and do slightly better. Now, let's quickly fix a few more things over here. I'm kind of tempted to... I think it's fine. I think that's going to be fine. Let's quickly see what... I think we've done all of this. Let's just make sure that this guy is, in fact, allowed to block. We just want to make sure we take out a lot of this. No, it has to block, and we'll take out a lot of that. We'll see about the rest that we do over here. There's an extra node in here. I'm kind of wondering, maybe we should get rid of the node. Get rid of that node. Interesting. I'm not a fan of what we're doing here now. I'm going to redo this thing. Let's go back, get our 2 lanes. A 2-lane guy, and too much stuff here. Let's get a straight line up to here. No, a straight line up to there is about right, and I know that's not straight by any means. Not by any means is that straight. Let's try and get rid of this extra node. I want to get rid of this node that we have here. So now we've just got the 1. Now grab, move it. Yes, this is the... no, I think we actually will need... Yeah, we will need the extra node. We absolutely will need the extra node to be able to do that S that we've got going here. Okay, let's put it back. My bad. My bad. Extra node, like right there, please. So what we're after is something that gets a pretty straight shot in here, and we'll sort that one out. And then what we'll need to do is get that little S bend. We'll need to do our little S bend situation here. Something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Now, going back to this one, the node controller, if we sort that out, try and maneuver it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's about right. If we do, ooh, look at that. Not quite what I had in mind. Let's undo that. That's a bit of a bummer. Let's get out of here. If I get rid of some of these, well, we should be able to sort that back out again. Let's redo that again. There's a node in here that we need to get rid of. There's a node. Let's get rid of that node. Crap, everything is on top of one another here. I need to sort that out, actually. So there's a node somewhere in here that I'm unable to remove. Can I get rid of this piece? Yeah, now let's try that again. It actually seems like there's a piece in there that we can't get rid of. Now, if I straight line this up to here, that's fine. Is that again doing the same thing? I'll close this thing off. Try and sort that out. Again with the node thing there. Okay, well, now if we go node controller, that's not right. Hold shift to go to underground mode. Now, how am I going to get rid of that node? There's a node in there that I need to get rid of. Can I? Does elect? Ah, there we go. Yes, get rid of it. What is it saying? To resolve node, you must have exactly 2 connecting segments. Okay, well, let's do this and try it this time around. Still out there? It's still in there. Now how? Oh, there we go. There was a random little piece of stuff going on out there. That's quite interesting. Now let's try that one more time. Okay, let's start it with a straight section to about, yeah, I'll have to trim it back and do it again. That's not right. Here we go. Doing that and up to there and into there. There we go. And now all I need to do, probably just tweak that a little bit like so. There we go. I need to turn this guy around. That's fine. I think that's okay. And now let's quickly tie this one in here. That's 2. Here we go. I think that's going to be okay. Now that should be okay. I probably should have just left it in there as a starting point. So something like that should do the trick for us. Now back to node controller, and let's try not mess it up this time. That's kind of okay. This one, let's see if we do this, right? That's a good starting point, to be honest. That's good. Actually, that's really good. Let's just leave it like that. And what we could do is we could get rid of some of these markings. So we'll mark something ourselves. This we should probably, no, I think that's okay. Let's leave it as is. Go in here one more time. Try and sort them out a little. That's pretty good there. There we go. Just close this one out. Double check again for these things. Yeah, we probably need to. We could probably squeeze a bit more in here. Need to redo a few of the things that we've already done. Now, the issue with this is going to be that we've got 2 lanes coming around here, but we don't actually have them on the other side also. So let's do that. These will also have to run through here, straight like that. And let's have a look. Do we still have all of our junction stuff in here? No. So Control Shift click. There we go. And we'll need to redo our speed. So what I wanted 50 around here, right? So it's like 50, 50, 50, 50 all the way through there. This one I want up to about 80. There we go. And that's 100 in there. So there we go. There it is. Now let's actually run it and see what happens. So let's speed things up a little bit and see if we're actually going to get some traffic around here. That's our bypass, guys. That is our bypass. So hopefully that means that the bypass will now... What is going on with this? That's a little weird because I've no idea. This road connection didn't actually exist. Now these guys are coming through here. And now the bypass is in action on this side. Let's quickly zoom across on this side and see what's happening right over here. Look at that. I'm loving that maneuver as part of the bypass. Excellent. So this is still some remnant traffic. Ooh. Ah, what's going on here? It's only getting a very limited amount through here because it's got a big intersection here. I'll put some junction control on here and we'll make sure we can fill it up from these aspects because we would like it to keep running. There we go. That's happening. And we're allowing them to go straight through that section as well. And then they speed up as they get out on the other side. That's fine. That's the remnant traffic that I think is still running through here. I don't think we're getting any other guys coming through this way. They're all making their way through to the bypass. Well, this guy's probably going to our forestry industry, but the rest of them are predominantly making their way this way. What I don't quite understand is why a lot of these guys are making their way in that way. So at some point, this is going to fall over, not going to work well. But I think our bypass is filling up with a bit of traffic. Yes, actually working pretty nicely. Only like a single lane of traffic through here. Let's double check what our speeds are through this section. Should be 80. Oh, there's a section of 50 through here. I don't like that. Let's just make sure that we get 80 all the way through. Another section of 50. I thought if you hold shift, they do the whole thing. 80, 80, 80. So now we've got 80 running all the way through there. There's very minimal access onto this. There's definitely no direct building access onto it. There's a few intersections, but that works really well. So now our bypass is filling up. Look at that. Bypass, bypass, bypass. Everybody's bypassing. So now we should see almost no traffic in the city itself. And everybody is bypassing. Our first bypass, guys, is ready to go. I'm loving it. And this is the guys turning left into the bypass. They should be allowed to block as well, just because of the size of our intersection here. So let's just make sure we're allowing them to fill up there. I am doing the very same thing over here. So we'll have to do a little bit of marking work, but that'll be it. Guys, in between episodes, I'll quickly mark it up. And I'll show you in the next episode how the line markings will look for our bypass over here. But I must say, while we mucked around with this a little bit on this side, and it might not be ideal, we might at some point have to signalize this, but we'll see how it looks. We mucked around with this thing too much, in my opinion, but we'll see how it goes. For the time being, I think most of our trucks that's not heading to a forestry industry or the bus stop is in fact bypassing through here, which is awesome. Just need to make sure that we're doing this effectively. That could be a little bit slow ultimately once it gets busy, but this side works really well. And that's why I'm kind of wondering whether the intersection isn't the right thing. The signalized intersection isn't actually the right thing to do. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you love our new bypass, please hit that like button. Leave me in the comments down below what you would like to see next. In the next episode, we'll start working on our university over there. Do you have a name for our university? Please start thinking about things like that. See you next time. Bye-bye.